All right, gang. One of my best friends called me and said his car got stolen yesterday. They got it back, but somebody tried to cut the engine out. So we're going to go over there. We're over here at O'Reilly's right now getting a radiator hose and a couple of things. Let's go check it out, see if we can't get it fixed. My friend was fishing in a little fishing hole in somebody's backyard. Somebody stole his car right off the side of the road, loaded it up, drug it off. Cops found it, said they ditched it on the side of the road. They cut the radiator hose out. They got in here, ripped the heat shroud back, and put one little cut in the manifold like they really thought they were gonna cut this sucker out of here. So it looks like we got a couple of wires to fix on this plug. Put a little weld on it, fire it up, get it back on the road. If you know anybody that likes to scoop up cars with a Tahoe in West Tennessee, you let us know down below. I got my little Chicago Electric Harbor Freight welder in my matching helmet. Don't forget to turn the sensitivity up. Uh-oh. Let's put it on 11. Well, let's go for a 10 and a quarter. Why not? So the way these things work, guys, is basically like you put it on 3 to 4, turn it to max, and just let it rip. If you turn it up too high, they don't want to lay a bead. If you don't run it on maximum, you better be doing some real thin sheet metal. So let's weld it. Not bad. I'll touch up that other end. All right, a little fast. Got on top of the other bead. Let me see if I can get around there. All right, gang, I think we spackled the Sawzall hole back together. We can rub the flux off to make it look better, but that wouldn't be very Harbor Freight of us. They were on that high-speed chicken feed, you know what I'm saying? So they yanked this plug right out instead of just unplugging it. So first thing we got to do is strip a little bit of this back so we can get a little more wire, get that back together. All right, we got the plug put back together. Had to Google what color wire goes where. Cam phaser sensor back. Well, like always, the hardest part was getting the dang clamps back on the radiator hose. When you fill up the radiator, make sure you let it run for a while, get warm, get all the bubbles out. Well, they had this all ripped up and they had this button taken apart to get the key out. Hear that? So we got to put that back together to make the key work. Good as used, boys. We're good to go. Well, we had to fix the interior a little bit where they popped the shifter out, but that was no big deal to snap in. But now we found out they're definitely trying to get that bad boy right there, that catalytic converter. They cut all the way around, but should be easy enough to weld up. So I won't pretend I'm a professional welder by any means, but I can stick things together, especially if I'm not worried about getting paid for it. You know, you're just helping your friends out, you're trying to make it work. So these little flux core welders are pretty convenient. They're like $100 at Harbor Freight, right? And You take no gas to use them, but they're wire feed just like any other TIG welder. So I know you've seen plenty of examples of welding, of kind of drawing dimes, making C's, however different people want to do it. But really when you're doing this, you're just kind of drawing a line. You want to hold the handle down, watch it get hot, and then just move the puddle along. You don't need to move back and forth when there's no gap. Like this is almost overlapped the way these pipes were still stuck together. So I was able to just kind of get it hot. And the start-stop is really two things. It's the welder inconsistent because it is cheap. Sometimes you do have to stop and yank the wire because it'll just kind of stop. But the other thing is if you burn a hole, then you just basically keep going a second at a time and fill the hole back up and then keep going on about your life. It's under the car, nobody's gonna see it. It just needs to work. Take your time with it and just make sure there's no holes. The other thing, you see me making sure I have a good ground. If you don't have the ground wire hooked up, you're sending amps, a lot of voltage, wherever the ground is not hooked up. I do have the ground disconnected on the battery while I'm doing this. So you don't want to touch anything, have a bad ground, and ground through yourself, and you also don't want to fry anything electrical on the car, because you are dealing with some serious amperage. Now you can get shocked and be relatively okay, but it does not feel great. Wouldn't recommend it. And the other thing you got to be careful with when you're welding, now obviously I should be wearing gloves. I'm an idiot, don't be like me, but your welding helmet, you can get the cheapo that's dark all the time, but it's really not that expensive to get the auto darken. The auto darken helmet is what you need, because then you can see where you're at. Otherwise you're kind of like flying blind and guessing a little bit too much. And then the adjustable thing, when you're out in the daylight, like I said, I had it like 10. You can't get away with going too much darker, you won't be able to see. But when you're in a garage, you can fine-tune that a little better. But, you know, guys, it's really easy to go out and just go to Harbor Freight, get yourself a welder, and be able to do these kind of things. It's not that hard. I'm not that great at welding, but if you can use a hot glue gun, you could probably stick two pieces of metal together with this thing. So you can't beat it. The hardest part of welding this was getting the top side of it, just because the gun didn't want to reach around the oil pan. But you just take your time with it, stick it together, fire it up, make sure there's no leaks, go on about your business. You can do it, guys. I know you can. Alright, man. Hey, purring like a kitten. Get that. Put a dipstick in and we're done. Heck yeah. Don't hear any exhaust leaks. That'll work. Alright, we got them welded up. I think we're patched up good to go. We got unk taken care of. The only thing missing is the dipstick, but it looked like they're $11 at the parts store, so we're gonna make it. We saved him. Thank goodness he got the car back, guys. When your friends call you out and ask for help, what are you gonna do? You gotta go help them out. And the cherry on top, the temporary dipstick, piece of fuel line, radiator hose, whatever, with some tire plugs in it. It'll do. Guys, I'm so happy I was able to fix Unc up, get him back on the road, get him back to work. Man, so sad. Why'd people steal cars? Got all his tools, got his phone, but at least we got the car back. If you guys like what you saw, push the buttons. Keep tuned for more.